Hello there, my name's Vince from My Mate Vince, and I've been busy buying up Amazon return boxes, 2 massive boxes full of hopefully faulty items. Most of them will be brand new items because they're customer returns. So this should keep me busy for quite some time. So let's get this first video out of the way where I take various items out of the box and we try to fix them. So it should bring up a variety of different faults, and it's always interesting, especially on new items, why things went faulty. So sit back, relax and enjoy.
Desktop fan.
So first up we have this desktop fan here, and apparently the fault is that both speeds are the same. It should have off, 1 speed, 2 speeds, and apparently it's just off and 1 speed no matter which button you press. Now it's making a weird noise, so if I do that I can hear it's like grating. But that's no problem, we can bend that back into place. But I don't think I can really hear a difference between both speeds. I certainly can't feel a difference. It's not grating now. So let's take it apart and let's see. I don't think it can be anything too major because clearly it's working. It's also oscillating when I do this thing at the back here. So I'm thinking it's something to do with the contacts just down here. So let's get it over to the mat, take it apart and see if suddenly it makes sense. Okay, of course we are unplugged. I can see there's loads of screws around the back here. I'm going to take this off as well. This looks like it needs to be bent into place. And there's a little, supposed to be a screw down the bottom here. There is a little bag here. It's got feet and also a little nut and bolt and a screw to put this in. It all looks incredibly cheap. And amazingly, even on that setting there, it didn't actually seem to be moving any air around at all. But maybe on the top speed it does. Can you adjust that there, I wonder? Oh, you can, look. Okay. Right, let's undo the bottom because I want to get to these switches here anyway. A few little screws here. Now I'm hoping this is going to be quite simple because I think it's just going to be an AC motor up there, and I can see the cable is, it's a massive cable going up here. So I'm hoping this switch assembly is going to be relatively straightforward. So we have 2 wires coming in. The black wire goes right the way up into it. So is there a problem with this here? We've got the 2 speeds, we've got the blue and the red. Well, mind you, let's think about this a minute. The switch works because when we do this, it does something. In fact, what we can do is, if we were to go, I'd have to go between the brown and the blue and the brown and the red, wouldn't I? And that would just prove 100% that the switch is working. I know it was working when we pressed it in, but just in case it was still on the contact of the blue. I'm now thinking it's not the switch. I'm thinking it's something up here. So let's go to continuity. And we know the brown wire has to be working because it's the brown wire that comes in from the plug itself. So the brown from the plug goes up to here. So we have to have something here. So we're going to go on to this one. The blue. And then, so that's off. Blue works. Ah, it's still working out. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, should it? Now let's go on to the red. That's working. So that's not making any difference. Well, interesting. Is that the switch or is it something up here? So I think what we have to do is, how is this even clamped in? Where's the screw terminals for it? Oh, very nice. It's push fit, I think. This is nice. Push fit like a Wago connector. Can you see? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of that so I know that originally blue went in there. And then, well there you go, that's already out. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do now. Blue, let me just take a picture because I will forget which colours go where. We'll put them out, all of the wires, and we'll see if the switch is making a difference. Then we know if it's the switch or something else. So let's put them all out. There. And here. Now, let's see what's happening here. So in. No, look at that. Look at that. Can you see? So the switch is working. So there's something on here. These two must be shorted together, are they? That one and this one. They're shorted together. Well, 38 ohms. We need to take this apart further. So I don't understand how it's got two different speeds up here. I wonder what's causing is it a resistor or something? Maybe it's using the same amount of power whether you're on the slow speed or the fast speed, but it's a resistor that's just turning the energy into heat. Not too sure. Do I have to turn this to take it off? How do I take this off here? Or is it a clip? Oh, haha! Look how bent it all is. Look at that. It's completely out. Should be all the way out here. Well, no wonder it's grating. Oh, okay, that's just come off. Oh, loosen, tighten. There we go. It's all very easy to take apart, isn't it? Let's undo these two now. Can I get in there? Yes, I can. Actually, does that lift off? That lifts off. So I'll fully be able to bend that back in because you can see how much has been bent in here. So yeah, I'll be able to get that. I'll be able to get that looking nice, I think. Yeah, I'll worry about that later if we can get this working. Tricky enough to get those clips off. Okay, now. Alright. Still hasn't given up its secrets. So this is the oscillate thing. Has the transformer got two windings? One for slow speed, one for fast speed? Just goes into the transformer. I wonder, has the transformer failed? Just to save the comment section, I know it's not a transformer, I know it's a coiler wire, I just keep calling it a transformer. My mind's thinking about fixing it, not scripting the video. Sometimes people say, why do you keep getting words wrong? It's because sometimes my videos can be an hour and a half long. That might be like 5-6 hours of filming and not one part of it's scripted. So if you had to speak for 5 or 6 hours, there's a good chance you would make many mistakes as well. Everybody does, because guess what? We're human. Let me get some measurements down here again. So if we go between the black and the blue, we've got 365 ohms. If we go between the black and the red, we've got 327 ohms. So it is different. So why is the speed not different? If I go between brown, no, because brown's going straight down there, no. So what about between these two? .38 ohms. Well, that's different, so it should be a different speed. I wonder, because it was a bit bent up here, whether or not it just didn't allow it to get up to speed properly. Tell you what we'll do. Let's put it back together, but let's keep this off it and then see if we can, feel a difference. Now, if I don't touch anything up here, everything should be be safe, I think, to work on. Oh, and this must be purely a mechanical thing. So the spin in here must spin something on the inside here, and that engages the gear to make it turn here, to make this bottom one turn for the oscillation. And then when you pull it up, then it disengages the gear. So that doesn't turn, so it doesn't oscillate. Well, I'm going to plug it in, but I'm not going to put my hands anywhere near here. I want to hear if it's more powerful. Alright, plugged in now. It's lovely and smooth. Okay. Alright, let's see if I can hear any increase. I don't think I can. How am I going to test to see if it's increased in speed or not? How about if I cause friction on here? I wonder will we hear any difference? Let's do this here. Right, so that's not... I don't... Let's turn it up a second. I'm disengaged the gear. There we go. Right, I've disengaged. Just going to move this around here. Right. I don't know about you, but that sounds the same. I'm not sure, I'm just going to unplug it. I'm not sure if this is actually faulty or whether the transformer itself is... I don't know if it's fixable. I'm wondering if the tolerances on the transformer on this one for some reason is out, because we've only got, what was it, a 40 ohm difference between them. And I'm not sure of 40 ohms when you're looking at, I mean, that's 10%, isn't it? Because what were they, 360 ohms and 320 ohms? So you're looking at less than 10%. Sorry, more than 10%. But I don't know if you're going to notice the 10% difference. I'm going to see if I can watch a review on this. I'm sure it's not going to exist. But just to see if it's supposed to be like twice the speed or not. Right, I haven't actually watched any video reviews on it yet. I'm not sure if they're going to exist, but you can buy it from Amazon, and I think this is an Amazon return here. So I've been reading reviews, and it's weird. There's quite a few 5-star ones calling it perfect, but then there's lots. Every video on it seems to be a 1-star, and just saying like it's absolutely useless, and saying things like a mouse could fart would move more air than this thing does. Somebody else also said something similar in that vein. These are all good reviews here, but look at this. Bought this so-called fan and you would get a stronger breeze from a fart. Isn't that brilliant? Cheaply made, motor gets very hot. Yeah, not the best, not terrible. That's probably an honest review there. Not great. So, yeah, disappointed by quality. I'm not sure whether it's... I'm just wondering if it's just a product that's just not very good, and maybe there's very little differences between the speeds anyway. So I don't actually think I'm going to take it any further, apart from make sure that that's not bent up and leave it at that, because I don't actually think it's a... I don't believe it's faulty. I mean, clearly it was, this was all bent up, but I don't believe the speed thing is faulty. I think there is probably a slight difference between the speeds. It's just it's very hard to notice. I am right in thinking that, aren't I? So look, you're going to have the blue wire coming up, and then you're going to have the black wire coming up, but then you're going to have the blue wire tapped off so many windings, and the red wire tapped off another load of windings. And the depending on which ones they've been energized depends on how much magnetic field, is that correct, which is making this spin. So basically, both windings are intact. So unless it's been wound wrong, which is possible but unlikely, I think it is working as intended. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not taking this one any further. Right, a lot of people are saying that this gets hot and this comes off and they glued it on. So let's try to, because that's very loose. Look at that. Yeah. So let's glue that one on there. And I think then I'm probably going to call it a day on that one. Just want to make sure this is all bent nicely. Now I'm thinking with this one here, if I glue it, then it's never going to be able to come apart again. So why don't I wrap some tape around it, and that way then it will just give it a little bit more grip. Or even better, why don't I put a heat shrink on it? And that way then it'll still be able to come apart. I'm going to put it onto about there. And this way it won't be seen. I might need another one. No, I won't. Oh, it's going to be too tight. Oh. So I need less. Wow. There's no way that is coming off easily. Look at that. That's really clamped it on well. That's perfect. Because you still will be able to get it off with a lot of force, probably end up breaking the blades. The moulding doesn't even go together nice. Ah, do you reckon that was for the fan? I wonder, was that to keep the fan on? Maybe. So I'm just putting the bag of bits on the fan. There's some little rubber feet. There's a little bolt to clamp on the little case, the cage. And also there's this little plastic round thing with a logo on it, just to kind of make it, I think, just to finish off the look of the fan. Alright, there we have it. Let's see how it's spinning. Yay, quiet again. Locks it. I can hear it. I fixed it! It's louder. I don't know if you can hear that in the camera on the microphone. Let me turn this round to the microphone. Hold on. So it must have been just friction of it hitting against the casing that couldn't get up to speed. So if you listen to that, hopefully you can hear that. I'll be quiet for a minute. You'll see my finger, well, you'll hear the click. Yeah, 100% there's two speeds there. And lower it down. Yeah, so that's what it was. It was just friction. There was nothing wrong with it. It was friction on the the casing. So this thing looks brand new. I don't think it's ever been used. I think it was damaged in transit, and then when the person put it roughly together, it started making that horrible rattling noise, and that was it. They sent it straight back, which is quite correct. As far as the airflow, hold on. Yeah, I'm a metre away, I can still feel it. I'm 2 meters away and I can still feel it. I'm about 3 meters away and I can still feel it. But yeah, any more than that and now I can't feel nothing. So yeah, it does what it needs to do, which is it's a desktop fan. Would I recommend it? No, it looks basically quality-wise, it feels absolutely awful. But it is dirt cheap, isn't it? Why do people buy these things? I'm not too sure. Clearly, it's just money-based. If you were to spend, you know, like 5 times the price, you'd probably have a fan that would last you your lifetime. While with this one here, you can tell everything about it. It's just been built to a certain price point, but it does what it needs to do. So yeah, people will be governed by money. I think it's landfill, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, that is it. Did I fix it? Well, yes, it wasn't working to begin with, and it is now. Was it a good fix? No, it was as boring as could be. But still, it is now a working item that somebody could use. It'll probably end up in a charity shop somewhere, and they'll probably sell it for £3 or £4. So another thing you can get for £3 or £4, or more precisely $5 US, is 10 printed circuit boards from PCBWay, and their 3D printing starts from around about $5 as well. PCBWay is your one-stop solution for all things PCB fabrication and assembly. From rapid prototyping to full-scale production, PCBWay delivers top quality products. So whether you're a seasoned engineer or a hobbyist just starting out, PCBWay's user-friendly interface makes ordering your own custom PCBs very easy. And PCBWay do a variety of different services, including but not limited to assembling your PCBs, CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and injection moulding. So when you're ready to take your designs to the next level, look no further than PCBWay and bring your ideas to life. So as always, a massive thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring the My Mate Vince channel. Now let's get on with the next item.
Electric stapler.
Now, some of you, if you watch my Fixathon series, might remember that I got an electric stapler here, but I couldn't fix it because the actual gear, the metal gear, had sheared off. I wouldn't be able to repair that, it needs to be replaced. So I bought myself another one, and what I'm hoping is, this one looked like it was just no power. Well, this one had power, it just didn't staple because the gear was broken. Annoyingly, I've just looked, and they're different. I thought they were the same. I thought I'd be able to swap parts. I still might be able to swap parts. I can't actually work out the difference because this says 180 series for the little brad nails, but then it says 140 series 6 to 12mm, while this is 13 series 6 to 12mm. But then it's 53 series 6 to 12mm. So I actually don't know the difference between staples. But clearly this just does these ones. Maybe it'll become obvious when I open it up. It both says nails here 10mm, staples 6 to 12. Anyway, I'm hoping I might be able to take something from here to get this to work. Because for example, if the switch is faulty on this one, I might be able to take the switch from this one. So maybe between both of them, we'll get one working one. I'm going to open this up and actually find out what the fault is. Right, looks like this one's come with a proper charger, but this one hasn't come with any staples or anything like that. So I hope it does take the same staples. Have we got staples in here? Yes, we have. Right, well, staples are loaded correctly. So, is there any power? Yes. I don't really want to press that in case it does go off. Let me go into this here. Whoa. Okay, well that certainly did work. That gave me a bit of a scare. Oh, I don't believe it. This one's broken as well. That's what happened on the other one. I think that happened on the other one, but the other one was the incorrect charger. What the? Right, well, no staple came out there. Right, let's take the battery out. Is it jammed or... Oh, I didn't like that. Look at that, there's one there. So it released then. It released, it made that noise and released. So it's punching, but is it not going back? Let's try that again. Right, let's just leave it at 1. Take this out for safety, turn that off. Let's see now if that staple pops out. Ready? Yeah, see it went out there, hold on. Then it comes out. What's going on there? So it's, no, but it's not punching down, it's not coming out. I'm not sure. Don't know. Let's take it apart and see if we can fix it. It's annoying about that. I know it will still work. It's just, I mean, that is just a lump of plastic, but maybe this is knocking around in here and it knocks it off. I can glue it though, but I'm just worried that that will then break and get stuck in a plug socket. Maybe I could take the gear out of this one and put it in the other one. As long as we end up with one working one. And also, hopefully I'll do a little bit of learning, because I didn't know there was a difference with the staples. Like, what is 53? What is 13? And this here should be the big one that goes right the way through the mechanism. This one's harder to take out. I'll just undo this clip here. There we go, right, this should come apart now. Here we go. Right, so all of this here is going to be working. Let's get rid of this for the moment. So it's something to do with the mechanism. So that works, that's the safety switch, but when this pumps down, why doesn't it go... Is it not pumping down properly? Looks to be the same mechanism as before. And that's not broken. Just get some kitchen roll. So it looked like we ejected the staple when we actually cut the power, which is a bit odd. So maybe we should see here what happens. You know, when we press this up, what happens here? Does it go and does it not release? Maybe it's a problem with the circuit board or something not releasing this. Maybe this micro switch here isn't registering that this has gone up the top. Actually, this could be interesting. So let's plug this in this way. Right, we're in. Let's turn it on. And now there's no staples to fire out, so I should be able to do this. Okay, I'm going to have to... I don't want the grease to go everywhere. I'm wearing a white top as well. Right, let's hold this in here. So if I do this now, it's not going to work. But when I hold this in here... So it does one complete revolution. But... Oh no, now it's going. Hold on. Now it's going. It didn't do that to begin with, did it? Do you think the motor, do you think it was left a while and the motor wasn't doing a full revolution? Doing it now, isn't it? Now, what happens when I go up here? Hold on. Oh, okay. Ah, so when I press that, it stops, but it's only when I let go of it. So, 1 second. It goes, this lifts all the way up to there, but then what causes it to drop? It's only when I let go. I can't remember now when I first of all did it, whether the motor... No, it didn't go all the time, did it? No, it didn't go all the time. I think it might be fixed, but I'm not sure. We need to put it back together to see. You know what? I'm not going to be able to put that in. But that's fine, because we should still see it come down, should we not, once we press this up here. So let's just see what it's going to do now. Now that was powerful. 100% I know that's stapling, because you can hear it punching down. I wonder would it be okay if I did this. Or is it going to knock this right out of my hand? Let's just try to do it on the very edge bit there. Whoa, did you see that? Let's zoom in on that. Yeah, this is going to be working now. So down here, make sure that's not hitting that one. Look at that. So you do have to press every single time. Oh, batteries come out, that's why. You can't just hold it down to staple. No, I can't. I've got to keep pressing it again, which I suppose is fine. I fixed it. So I think it was the motor wasn't doing a full... Yeah, the first time we did it, the motor only went halfway, didn't it? It was then when I took it out that it started going and going and going. I'll have to double check and watch that video, you know, when I come to edit. But I think that's what it was. I think maybe it had just been in its place for a while and the motor just needed working. Just needed to be moved a little bit. Or maybe when I put all the screws back in, it will jam up again. Maybe it's because it's not fully clamped everywhere, that there's more movement. I don't think so. I think it was the motor. It'll be obvious when I edit it back. Okay, we're back together. So let's load up with staples. Now let's see, are you going to work? Right, I'll probably just go straight through here. Turn on. Oh, didn't put the catch in properly. Oh, that's okay. Clips in. Fine. Here we go. No. What?
Ha ha.
What's going on? Are these the wrong staples for it? Hold on. Is it doing something different than... Is that not going down enough? Let's turn that off in case it starts firing. I wonder, is that not going down enough? I mean, it's clearly working. Is that not going down enough to meet the head of the staple? Met that one. I really don't know. I thought I fixed it. I don't even know what it did at the beginning of the video now. Maybe I should look into the staples in case, for example, wrong staples have been put into this one. But they do look perfect for it. Let's see, actually, because it doesn't know it's open. Let's see, that needs to go past that thing on the way down, doesn't it? Let's see if that's if it is going past it. Right, let's see if it goes past this thing here, because it needs to. Whoa. I think it does. It happens so quick I don't actually know. Why is that not working? Why is that not working? Are you bent? I don't think so. That seems to be going far enough. That should be doing what it needs to do. Maybe the different staple thickness is to do with these lines, how thick the staple, not how wide this way, but maybe this is trying to get two staples through. Maybe we need to put in thicker staples. But you still think it would come out, but maybe mangle them. So now I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's take that off. Actually, let's take the staples out a second. If we were to do this, will we still see that come up and down? Maybe this is putting it under too much pressure. Nah, hasn't come back down, has it? Can you see? Hasn't come back down. It will only be when I release this. There, okay. Dear me, that's jammed. There we go. So this thing is stopping it from working. Oh, we got staples here, look. No, we haven't. Do you know what I think it is? Now, see, this is why I love doing faults, because we now know it's something to do with this. Do you know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if this has been knocked too far out this way. Yeah? Because I reckon if we do it just here, I reckon it will work. It's when it's in here it won't work. So let's do it here now, and I think that will work. So, well, we know it's going to work, don't we? Yeah. It's when that goes all the way, there's not enough of a gap here. And it stops this when this goes up. This is under pressure. It's stopping high up, I think. But mind you, it seems to be stopping. 1 second. It seems to be stopping at the very, very top. Right. So where are you stopping? Because that's important. It's not there, is it? Because otherwise it'd be coming out now. So it's not there. It's higher up than that. So it seems to be stopping at the very, very top. So this thing here is... there you go. Hold on a minute. Hold on. If we put the staples in, let's just put half of those in a second. Is that going here? Yeah, that's correct. So if that's correct, there's not enough of a gap, is there? If we did that, I think if we did this, the staple would fly out. Let's try that, yeah? So, I'm going to leave a bigger gap. Let's see if the staple comes flying out. Right, so I'm going to just hold it here. Now, let's turn it on. Yeah, there you go, but it took loads out because you see this allowed all 3 to come out. It's quite good because I can reuse the staples because they're just going into polystyrene. Right, let's do that again, but put even more pressure on. So I'm just going to release it when it's in this position, just release it a tiny little bit. There, now. 1 staple. So it's something to do with this thing here. Let's take it apart again and try to take this out of it. See if we can work out what's happening with this. I need to create a bigger gap that will allow 1 staple through, but not others. Unless, of course, do you know what? Before I mess with any of this, let's find out what 53 staples are and 13 staples. Simply, these might have been put in incorrectly. They might be too fat. Maybe we need thinner ones. Well, that's unbelievably confusing. I was just expecting like 53 to be some sort of size guide and then 13 would be another size guide, but they're different types of staples. But basically, if you were to get like 53-10, then that would be a 53 series staple 10 millimeters long. But anyway, let's forget about all that because I don't know what these are here, but clearly they're not working in here. They're jamming. But if you have a look at the 53, and this one is supposed to be 53, it even says on the stapler here, 53 and 13. And if I go to 53, it says here, Tackwise, which is this company, 53 is supposed to be 0.74 millimeters. And if I zero this, now watch this. So 0.74, and this one is 0.74. So these clearly are the correct staples. These are 53 and they're getting jammed. So I don't think it's, I don't think somebody's loaded this with the incorrect staples. For whatever reason, this bit here is being pushed too far this way. So I think this is a tolerance thing from manufacture. I think this is brand new. And I think it just has been faulty from manufacture, unless it's bent. But I don't think it is bent. So this would work if I put thinner staples in it. But I think 13 might be ever so slightly thinner actually. But it should still work with 53 staples, and it's not. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to take this out here, because this is this black thing, because this silver thing here does move in, so that should allow it to still fire. It's this black thing that is pushed too far that way. So I'm going to take it apart again, and I'm going to concentrate now on this thing here. So it's something to do with this here. Let's zoom right in and see if it will suddenly make sense. Well, that seems to be up to there, doesn't it? Yeah, this is all one piece here. So why on earth has this gone in too... This is going in too much. Ah, hold on. Is it ever so... Hold on 1 second. Is that my eyes? Or that's not a right angle to that. It should be there, shouldn't it? Look. If we were to take this as the flat edge, that's not a right angle. It's coming this way a little bit. I think it needs to be more... I think this needs to be knocked in. I think it's just, can you see here? That's all it is. Look here. That needs to be in just that amount there. About half a mil, but remember the staples are only 0.7 off a mil. That's it there. I just need to get a hammer, and because the bottom bit's in. That's flat there. That's not flat. I hope that's coming out in the camera. There, you can see the edge here, you see? What you're seeing there is the middle bit. You can't see the bottom, but when it comes to here, you can see it. So I just need to knock that in there. You can see it there. Right, okay. Let's. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let's see if I can get this and bend it in. You know what? I think that's done it. I can't feel the ridge on my nails now. Well, I can a bit, but not much. I think... that's it. I'm not going to go any more than that. Let's see if it's working now. I mean, I wonder whether do I have to knock in that middle bit. Do you know what? Let's just leave it at that, because 100% that's not going out now. And if we have a look, does it look more of a right angle? Yes, it does. Before it was out here, and now it's flat. Can you see there? That's a nice right angle. I think that's going to work. It still seems to be bowed a little bit in the middle, but let's see if it is... do you reckon that needs to go in more here? Is it possible to get it in more here? Can I get my nail in? No, that is against it. Yeah, let's give that a go. It's amazing, as simple as the things. But it's nice because I understand it more now. And it's still fixing a fault. Fixes like that are so satisfying for me, and I think to any other nerd that likes fixing stuff, because you can see what's wrong. You're not even relying on a multimeter. You're using your eyes and you're trying to understand how the machine works. And then there's a bit of a light bulb moment. So at the beginning, if it had just started to work, then it would have been like, oh, I think the motor was seized up and now it's freed itself, but you don't really know. But with this here, you can physically see that that bit's sticking out a bit when it should be in more. And I know it was only a fraction, well, maybe half a millimeter, but that's enough to make a difference when the staples are only 0.7 off a millimeter. I love that there, and I know anybody else that is into fixing would also love that there as well. I know other people couldn't care, they just probably want a working product at the end of it. But if you're into fixing, you got to admit, something like that there is just perfect because you pinpointed something that's wrong. Anyway, when I'm putting this back together, let's give a shout out to them. My mate Vince, massive. Other people that clearly like fixing too. The massive members this month are KipDigital.com, Kip Hates on YouTube, Max Rokotansky, Chris Seal, Felipe at MrKeeves.com, DJ VG, Pigsy, Anthony Dean, Russ Melanson, Shigate, Rickard Berglund, Soul Reaver 555, Shamsa Al Sawadi, Stuart Park, Stephen from the Broken Past on YouTube, and Lee Benz. Right, okay, this is all back together now. Let's see what it's now doing on the polystyrene box. There it goes. In. You ready? On. Here you go. You beauty. Ha ha! Fantastic. Look at that. Right, I've just put a little bit of token super glue on that. I'm sure that's not even going to last one go. Don't really know what else I can do with that, because even if I put build up of epoxy around here, it's going to be sticking out then. It won't go all the way in. And I need this to open up the UK plug to allow these to go in. But I think after just inserting that once or twice, that's just going to break straight away. But we'll see.
Test time.
Right, I've got some wood here which is kind of MDF, so I'm not sure if MDF is harder than a softwood or not. Let's see if I can staple this onto the wood. So turn it on. Yes. Fantastic. And there you go, you can see they've gone right the way through there. Brilliant, they're in.
Car tire inflator.
It says faulty, no power. Let's see what it's doing. Again, so far it looks brand new, so hopefully it will be a fault straight from the manufacturer, which means it should really be quite easy. So what we're going to do is, God, that's done up tight. Does this turn? No. I just want to loosen this up just in case this does seem to be particularly tight. In case there's a faulty wire. You know what I mean? Maybe the customer wanted to hide something. It's just I don't think it would leave the factory this tight. No, that's all alright. Well, let's plug it in and see what it's doing. So I'm going to get my bench power supply set to 12 volts so I don't have to go out to the car and film this. Right, 12 volts, 1 amp. There we go. So it's going to be, the middle one's going to be the positive, and this is going to be the negative. So let's see what you're doing. Ah, hear that? It came on for a second. It goes straight to 1 amp. Interesting. Right, I'm going to whack the current right up. Oh. And it works. 1 second. That's working. So why is it down as no power? I'm struggling there, but again, I think that's amps because let me put these two together. It's going to be a bit of a spark. No? Right. Let me go all the way up. Because remember, a car battery is a huge amount of amps. Right, I'm all the way up to 10 amps now. As far as I can see, that's working just fine. Well, that there is the problem with Amazon returns. Sometimes the items are just working. So maybe the original customer possibly could have lied. And then the reseller just thought, I can't find a fault with it, so I'm just going to put it down as no power because that was the original problem with it. But maybe the original customer just changed their mind. Saying that, it's been shipped to me. So maybe there's a bad connection somewhere. And in shipping, that connection's just remade itself. And maybe if I wiggle something, it will just go faulty again. So I'll take it apart to have a look on the inside. All the solder joints look absolutely fine. All the wires are okay. When I wiggle everything, it's still working just fine. I then take it out to my wife's car and I pump up one of the low tyres, and even under pressure it's working just fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with this at all. So let's move on to the next item. Hopefully that one will actually be faulty because this one definitely isn't no power.
Master lock safe.
Next up, we have this little lock thing. So this isn't going to be electronic, this is mechanical, but it says unknown combination. It should be 0000, but nothing happens when I press that there. So when you press this one, it's supposed to flip open and you can store important stuff in there. And then if you press this one, this is supposed to unlock here, and then you can wrap it, for example, around the leg of a table. It's not going to be a high-tech safe, but where it might come in useful is, for example, on a beach, if you were to wrap this around maybe the leg of those kind of massive log umbrellas you get, you know, the permanent ones that's there all the year round, and it might just deter somebody from nicking it, rather than just having your mobile phone left out or maybe hidden in a trainer or in your bag or something like that. So it should be all the zeros, but nothing's happening. So now, I've picked something similar before when I did Mike's suitcase, the ride-on suitcase, but that was only 3-digit. But basically, you could feel a little notch, and then you just had to go 180 degrees around from that. But before I did this, I watched a YouTube video, and apparently on this one, you just need to feel for the notch. And then that's it. Once you feel for the notch in each of them, then you can move it to that one. The notch will tell you what combination it is. So for all I know, it could be 000. It might not be a combination lock problem. Maybe there's a problem with this button here, so we might not be able to get into it anyway. I was wondering if there's a way that I could knock the hinge, because I can see this little metal thing going right the way through from here all the way through to here. So I wonder, could I knock the hinge through, which would then open up this side? Then I could do the reset on the inside. So we have a couple of options, but I'm just going to zoom right in. I want to see if I can see anything in here. Just going to give it a little turn and a shine to see if we can see anything that looks different. It's incredibly hard to turn. Right, that's a good one there. So let's have a look now. Maybe it's this side here, but let's start on this side. Let's see if I can see anything that looks different. I'm looking past here, down in here. Well, I can't see anything there. So now let's try this side in here. Harder to see. Let's go down here. Well, I can't see anything. Hold on a minute. I think I can get to the setting lever just in here. I think I can see the setting lever, so I wonder if I push that across now, would it just spring open? Right, I think I'm on it. I wonder would that allow me to reset it to 0, 0, 0, right, and now let go. No. It's a bit bad that you can get to that setting lever, but maybe it needs to be unlocked before that makes any difference. Oh, hold on, hold on, hold on. I can now see a hole. In fact, look, can you see it's gone in? Watch this. Boom. Can you see it's gone in there? So I don't know if that suggests it's 0 or 9, but there's definitely a hole there. So I now need to see if there's a hole on every other one. If I zoom right in, can you see the hole? You can clearly see it there, can't you? So it's like in between the 0 and the 9. So let's see if we can find that on the next one. I'm just going to keep the camera here. Get my head out of the way. Let's see if we can find this one. There we go. What's that? Is that a hole there on 4? Hold on. Or is that dirt? No, I think that's just dirt. Doesn't seem to be one on this one. How far down is that one? Let's try doing it with this here. I can't do it, you see. Hold on, is that one there? Oh, there's something here. Oh, look, there's something here. Look. Here, there's something here. Yeah, here. So you can see now, on this one, we've got it there, a hole and a hole. And here we've got a hole and a hole. Right, now we're getting somewhere. This would be much easier to do if I could just use my eye loop. But then you're going to get porcupine head in the way. If I lift up each one, that's quicker, I think. There you go, there and there. Can you see it there? Here and here. Excellent. Okay. Now the last one. There you go. There and there. Right, so now, are they all in the same spot? They are. So what have we got? 9, 6, 5, 8. And if that doesn't work, I'll just keep them all in this orientation, but keep going around until it does work. So that doesn't work. So let's go down one. That doesn't work. Okay, keep going. No. No. Oh, oh. Oh, that feels like it's... That felt like it went. Look, that feels like it's going. I wonder am I one out? Maybe I'm nearly there. Oh, maybe that was... Hold on. No, okay. No. Felt like I nearly had it on the last one. Just going to go back this one. Oh, look. Do you know what I mean? That feels like it's going down. I wonder, is it like a faulty mechanism? Or does this just mean that I'm nearly there? Let's go back one. Yeah, because that doesn't want to go now, but on this one it does. Let me do it one by one. No. No. Yeah. How weird. No, okay, well I must have gone all the way around once. So basically, when this first of all came out, there was a video by Lockpicking Lawyer, and he managed to get into this without even using any tools, just by visibly looking at it. And remember, to begin with, we zoomed in and we were looking to the right and left hand side. Well, on his one, there was visible gates that you just had to line up and then it would open. I also watched another video of someone where they used a tool to feel the gates and then it opens. But this isn't from 2015, so clearly Master Lock have now updated the design. And I watched another YouTube video from a couple of years ago, and basically they said that the gates weren't visible anymore, so you couldn't get into it like you could before. So basically it's much more secure now than it was before. I think it's actually faulty. I wonder, should we try see if we can knock the hinge out of it, because then I might be able to open up, reset it. Do you know what I mean? It might be just a whole lot easier, because you can see the metal hinge going through here. Oh my god, look at it, it's coming out. Right, so it's going to get caught here, but can I bend it a little? Yeah, maybe like that. So if I get something like this. Now let's see if I can push it through. Remember, it doesn't mean the product's rubbish, because nobody would be doing this in an office or on a beach anyway. It's just a deterrent, isn't it? Haha, here we go. Woo! I'm out. Right, okay. Oh my god, there's stuff in here. Oh, there's stuff in here. Oh, what's in here? I didn't even think about that. What is in here? Could my riches be in here? There is stuff in here. Instructions! You boring thing. Instructions. Okay, how am I going to release this? I thought it might open up more. Let's go back to 0, 0. If the instructions are in there, this is faulty from new, I reckon. I don't think I'm going to be able to fix this one, because I think it's a mechanical issue. Also, there should be some rubber thing that goes over here, so who knows the background of this? Maybe this was never meant to go out. You know, maybe this didn't pass quality control. Well, isn't that a shame? I was hoping to find something more interesting in there, but no, just the instructions. Now, I keep messing with it for probably about another 20 minutes or so, and what gives me a little bit of hope is that when the second digit is on 9, it does seem to give a little bit. Remember the left-hand one gave a little bit earlier? Well, it seems to give when the one's on number 9 and its second one. And it doesn't matter what I put the first, third and fourth to, it always gives a little bit on number 9 when it's on number 2. But yet if I put the second wheel onto, let's say, 8 or 0, then it doesn't give at all. So that says to me that the second digit is 9. And then what I'm trying to do is just work each digit to see if it will go down more. But it gets me thinking, if the second digit's 9, there's a good chance it could be a birth date. So what I do is I go from 1950 onwards. Clearly I don't want to be here all day. And that will give it everybody in the country who is under the age of 74. I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm just thinking second digit's 9. I mean, it might be nothing at all to do with that, but often humans are creatures of habit, and you'd be surprised, like the amount of people with a PIN number of 0000 or 1234 will be a lot higher than you actually think. It will probably be much more common to have 1234 than any other 4-digit combination in the world, because we want things to be easy to remember. Anyway, let's pick up the video, because what I'm doing is I'm putting pressure on the right button and the left button, and the left button, while I keep rotating the dials, hoping that it will give a little bit more with the second digit placed on the number 9. All right, remember I said I thought the second button was 9, which makes sense, like somebody's date of birth, like 19. And now look, I've got it 19 here, and I can feel the buttons are going that way and that way. They seem to be going, like when I press down this one, it seems to lift up here, and when I press that, it's lifting up here. Can you see that? Oh my god, that's out. Hallelujah. 1905, is it? No, 1906 it must be. It's 1906. Right, hold on, let's leave that open. Let's put this one in. Let's see. It's 1906. 1906. I'd like to say there was a technique they used, but there wasn't really. It was just feeling it by rocking it. Can you see now how much it rocks? Now, I don't know if that was fluke or whether or not, if I was to do a blind test, whether I'd be able to do that now. Let's try to get this back in. Well, there we go. It's amazing. I would say it's a fluke, but the thing is, it's 10,000 to 1. There's basically 10,000 combinations going from 0000 to 9999. So the odds of getting it are very, very slim. But saying that, I probably did try about 100 combinations or 200 combinations in all my messing, maybe even 300 combinations. So obviously that brings down the odds a lot. But still, the odds are definitely not in your favour of getting that. I mean, if you had to start at 00001 and then 0002 and go all the way to 10,000, I think you would be there probably all day, and you would give up because your thumbs would be killing, because it's quite hard to turn these dials. So I think by rocking forward and back the buttons, clearly that is a technique that kind of works, but I'm just not confident that I'd be able to do it again. But I managed to get into it, and that's the truth. So basically, the rocking of the buttons must have worked somehow. Weird. But if somebody gave me another one, I don't think I'd be able to get into it. So I think there was partially luck involved there. I put it all back together, put the hinge through and stuff, and yeah, at the end of it, we do have a working product. I reset it to 0000 using the little reset thing on the inside, and it appears to be working just fine. So the mechanism definitely isn't faulty. It was just that somebody changed the pin and then decided it was a good idea to send it back to Amazon, which is all very, very strange. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just reset it? Yeah, very odd. Don't know why. But yeah, anyway, let me just show you it working at the very end. So all the zeros opens up nicely. You can put your most prized possession in there. Don't judge. Close it, scramble it, and then nobody can get into it. And then we'll put it back to all the zeros again. I'm not sure if this is something I'd actually use or not. It'd be definitely handy on holiday. I just don't know if I could be bothered to take it away with me. On a beach is the only sort of way that I would see this would ever get used. So you can do that, and also you can unlock here. And this, for example, is where you would wrap it around something. So if I was to wrap it around the leg of this, imagine if you couldn't move this here. You wrap it around there, and then you would lock it into here. Close the lid, scramble it, and then you see nobody can nick it there. So it's quite a clever little thing. And it's great that they clearly listen to the feedback or watch the YouTube videos, and they've made it much harder to crack. There we go. I enjoyed that one there, but I only enjoyed it because I managed to actually get into it. And as far as taking the hinge out, yeah, everybody knows it's not secure, but that's not what it's for, is it? Nobody's going to be taking out that hinge realistically on a beach. I mean, if you stamp on it, you'll probably crack it, or take a hammer to it, you're going to get into it. I think it's just purely as a deterrent. I actually quite like it. On to the next one.
Radio-controlled clock.
Here we have a Braun radio-controlled alarm clock. And there was no info about this one here, apart from it was down as faulty. But if you have a look at the model number, it says BC10WDCF. And it's a radio control clock. And DCF is the signal that comes out of Germany. Amazingly, it says here, look at this. A radio controlled alarm clock with automatic time control to the DCF signal, covering an area up to 1,500 kilometres from Frankfurt. So basically, there's nothing wrong with this. The problem is that it's Central European time. So it's 3:02, but in the UK, it's 2:01. Yes, I can manually change it to the correct time, but what's the point of having a radio control clock here in the UK set to a German timekeeping zone? There is no point, because I'd have to keep changing it back to UK time all the time. So I don't even understand why they're selling it in the UK. It makes no sense whatsoever. You can see there it's listed with a UK price tag. So I very rarely return anything because normally I can't be bothered, but 100% I would be returning this if I bought it, because there's nothing wrong with the product, but the product's not made for the UK market. What is interesting is, though, I was thinking to myself, 1,500 kilometres, because I have a few radio control cars, and I know I can still get the signal maybe 60, 70 metres away, but I was thinking like 1,500 kilometres is crazy, and that's the little signal there. You can actually turn that off, so it is still a functional item here in the UK. You can turn off the RC side of it and just have it as a normal alarm clock. It's got a nice light when you tap it here. But the thing is, it's not doing what it's intended to do. But yeah, it's fascinating. Look up about time. Watch a Tom Scott video about time, about radio control clocks and stuff. It's amazing how they're synced with atomic clocks around the world. And we have one here in the UK as well. So this is synced to the Frankfurt one, but clearly if you were to buy a UK one, it would be synced to the UK one. So I presume most countries probably have, well, maybe not all countries, because if you're in France, you'll be able to use the German one, but I presume each time zone would have their own radio control clock, and it's amazing how they're synced up with each other around the world for things like trading and also for scientific experiments as well. Watch, not now because you're watching my video, but look up about RC clocks. See if you can find a Tom Scott video. It's all very fascinating because you see there's a little bit of delay in the signal coming out, and all that has to be accounted for. So yeah, fascinating stuff. Anyway, there's nothing wrong with this one, it's just not fit for the UK market. So let's move on to something else. Why does everything look so out? That's really weird. Well, floor's level and the spirit level is level on here, but yet that's level. What? Okay, I'll hold it there. I've had a great idea. Why don't I try, not in this episode because it'd be too complicated, but retune it to the UK signal. So there's some of you out there that's going to know if that's possible or not, because years ago with the radio control cars, you would just change the crystals, you know, from blue to brown, etc., and they would each have different frequencies. So surely in that clock it's picking up the frequency that's coming out from the Frankfurt station. I needed to pick up the frequency from the UK station, and I wonder, is it capable of doing that, or is there different chips tuned to that station, or will there just be some sort of tuning pot that I can turn on the inside to tune it to the UK one? And what even is the UK one, and how would I know what frequency the little Braun alarm clock is? Is there any way my scope can pick up something like that, or would I need to get some kind of frequency generator or something? But I think it would be a really, really interesting video. Clearly, it'd be cheaper just to go out and buy a UK radio control clock. They're not expensive, but for the purpose of the video, you got to admit, that would be fun. So if you know if it is possible, could you let me know? I've done zero research into it, but I know that my audience are normally, there's a massive range of knowledge on my audience. So I'm thinking somebody out there will know the answer to it. So if it's possible, let me know, and then I'll do a video on it. I've also got to work out why this is so crooked. Really weird. I can't quite get my head around that. Anyway, on to the next one.
Electric kettle with no power.
I'm going to try to fix up this faulty Balaco, not sure how you pronounce it, kettle, the great British brand, but I've never ever heard of it. They sell on Amazon for only around 17-ish UK pounds, so not a lot of money, and it says here, faulty, no power. So let's unbox it and let's see what it's doing, and then see if it's possible to fix it. Right, it looks brand new, so again it would be a customer return. Yeah, I don't think that's had any use. Maybe one boil, possibly. Looks to be some dots down the bottom there, but very little. Interestingly, this one will stay down without even being on the base. Okay. Well, I can't see anything that's obviously broken on it. So this one might be interesting. Now I'm going to plug it in. First things first, let's see if we have voltage on this thing here. So I'm going to go to AC, keep my hands well clear. And I presume The outer one there might be the earth. I'm just going to go between here and here, see if I've got anything. Yes, I have. 240 volts, and let's go on the middle one. Nothing on the middle, maybe the middle's earth. Yeah, 240 volts there. And if I was to go here, no, hold on, 1 second, 1 second. So nothing there. 240 volts there. To 40 volts there. I'm getting confused. So we're going to have voltage between earth and live, and earth and neutral and live. So got voltage here. So that could be neutral and live, and the middle one could be earth. And this could be neutral. So that actually looks like it is working okay. So let's pop this on here. Let's see what happens when I put this on. You can't see, can you? Let me do this here. Let's see what happens when we do this. So there's no indicator for the LED. Now it could be the LED that's gone. So I'm going to get some water, put it in here, and see if it actually boils. Okay, I've got it just over minimum here. Can't hear anything. So I think it's going to be a problem with the kettle itself. Also, I think it's weird that the button goes down when it's not on, there. Because on the other kettle that I did, it didn't do that, and on my kettle it didn't do that. Right, okay, I'm going to unplug this. I don't think it's a problem with the base, I think it's a problem with the kettle. And it doesn't look like the base has been mixed up because again it's a Balaco base. And it says at the bottom here, KSS031. And here it says KSS031. So they're definitely the same base is for the kettle. Let me empty out the water. Now I'm hoping after working on the Bosch kettle that my knowledge of kettles has gone up a bit. So a nice little filter there. But you never know with my maintenance. You never know. I've got a tube here. So the tube, that's how it knows it's boiling. Once it starts bubbling, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, to do with atmospheric pressure and stuff like that. Once it boils, then water will start coming up here, steam will start coming up, it will go down the tube, and then there will be bimetallic switches down here. So let's undo these three and see what's going on. Will it become obvious when we... Oh, I was going to say it could be the element, but I don't think it will be, because we would have, the light would still come on, wouldn't it? Because the kettle wouldn't know that the element's gone. I think it's going to be, whatever it is, I think it's going to be very straightforward, and I think it's just going to be a manufacturing defect, because you can see that this is brand new. So something's been forgotten in the factory. It's just going to be a loose wire is my prediction. Right. Okay, now, first things first, oh look at that, the bimetallic thing here is labelled up 223-8. So yeah, maybe you can get them off the shelf to, you know, flip at different temperatures. Let's see if we have the element working. So I'm going to go on to just normal ohms, go here and here. Yes, excellent. Brilliant, 29 ohms. So I think that's okay. So now, this looks very similar to the Bosch, but it hasn't got that little safety switch on it anywhere. Why is there no power going from here into it? I think I'm going to undo the screw here, here and here, and that might... it might give me a clue as to what's happening. Oh yeah, the tube comes down here. So this is the bimetallic strip for the tube. So this is the thing that knows when it's boiled. Look at that. There you go. Can you see? The tube comes down here, this thing here. Steam comes here, and then it heats up this bimetallic strip that does this. I don't want to break it, but it does this. There. Right, but it's not even boiling, so it's not that. It's something to do with the this area here. This is just going to be for the LEDs. I'm almost feeling professional.
Ha ha.
So I suppose that's where the sort of cost saving is, the fact that this works without even being on the base here, because that little mechanism with the little thing that pushes out that has to engage with the base side of it, that probably costs another like 40p or 50p to manufacture, maybe £1. And that's what makes the difference. Right, so again, just like the other one, we have two bimetallic ones here. Have these failed, and are they not allowing power through? But again, that would just be for the element. It should still light up, shouldn't it? Ah, no, but it only lights up with the element, so power needs to go to the element to light up. I wonder if these are not doing what they need to do. Let's zoom in closely. Maybe they're permanently off. So you can see that we have... Hold on now. I can see that there's a little thing here. Can you see this thing here? But where's this one? Ah, this one's all the way there. Aha! It's broken. That one shouldn't be there, should it? Or should it? Or maybe this one shouldn't be here. Maybe that one needs to be up here. How are these clipping? That's definitely moving that one up. But that's not doing anything there, is it? That's not in contact with anything. So we found our problem. It's this thing here. Why is that jammed up? Oh no, because we go down, sorry. We go down. So that does that. So when this boils, this also can cut off from here, I think. Oh no, sorry, there's no electrical thing on this bimetallic one up here. This purely shoves this down, and this breaks the contacts here. So this now is off, that's on, and then when the bimetallic one goes up here, it breaks the contact from here, which cuts power. So what does this side do? Because that doesn't seem to have any bearing on anything. Unless this is like a fail-safe where if it gets too warm and the other one fails, then this will heat because the base of this is heating, and it will flip this. I don't think I'm looking in the right place. Let's zoom out a bit. It's harder than I thought it was going to be. So we're in here. Yes. Are we in here? Yes. So I need to see if there's some sort of continuity between these and these, I think. So let's just go into continuity. I'm going to go onto the outer ring. No. No. Right, let's go onto that inner ring. Yes. No, let's go onto the middle pin. No. Right, well I think that might be our... Well, no, but it's not on. 1 second now. So this is the outer one. So now let's turn it on, like that. Now, will something go to here? Yes. So what on earth's going on? So we know it's the outer pin, the outer circle, and the inner circle. Outer circle and the inner circle. Let me just double check on the base again. Outer circle and inner circle. I think that's where we had the voltage. Let's double check that again. Right, volts AC. Outer circle, inner, keeping my hands well away from anything and out of the water as well. 100% we have got 230 volts going into it. 240. Right. Why is this as dead as a dodo? What's going on? So we've got power going into the element because when we put it on the base and it's on here, the outer one goes to here only through the element. The outer one goes to here. You can see the reading is like 4 ohms. What's my leads here? I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's get rid of the beep for a minute. So outer one to here is 2 ohms. When I do this, you can see it's 2 ohms, 3 ohms. Inner one to here, again, 3 ohms. Let's go right onto here, 2 ohms to there, outer one to here, 2 ohms. So 100% when this is placed down, it has to be making contact with the base, unless, of course, it's not. Maybe the base, let's have a close look at the base, maybe these are not quite making contact with the base. I wonder if I was to put this on here, I should be able to go straight from the plug to here, should I not? So that's on there like so. Let me just get a kitchen roll for my hands. I should be able to go from the plug, the live and neutral, yeah? So we'll just use continuity. And here, I'm going to hold this in and go to here. Hold on. Easier said than done. Let's turn it on. Hold this in here. And let's see if that's coming up. Yes. And that's through the element. That's why it's 30 ohms, because it's through the element. But there you go. That's direct to there. And now let's go to here. Oh, my mate Vince has found the fault. Hold on, in there. It's not coming up. So this one here is not coming up. Yes, it is. What? It is. Hold on. Oh, I haven't found a fault. I wonder, that seemed a bit iffy though. Let me have a close look at these. Okay, I'm going to show you something that could be, possibly, look. Thing is, what's the odds of me putting the kettle down on the exact same spot? That's probably not this, but just in case it is. Can you see on this ring here, and let me just double check that, see if that ring is this one. Yeah, it is. Can you see that we have a tiny little burn mark just here? Yeah? There. In fact, it felt a bit crunchy. It's still feeling crunchy. Let's scrape through that, because also I want to show you the base, but I don't know what the odds are of the original owner putting it on the exact same spot as the bit that I put it on. So I think it's unlikely. But that definitely felt a little bit crunchy, as if there was something sat on it. Yeah, you can see it's gone now. So there's a little bit here as well. Interestingly, this is like beveled, and this one's not. That looks like it's beveling in, so that one's further in than this one, but this is completely flat. But now if we have a look in here, on the inner one, which was the one with a bit of dirt on, look at the contact. Can you see the outer one looks nice, but look at the inner one. We have this little little bit at the top just here. So the very fact when I rested it on there, it didn't seem to want to come through on that one. I'm wondering whether these, because look, these are both the same level as well. You can see that they're both the same level. But if you look here, does this one not look further down than that one? In fact, should we see if we can measure? So let's go to the tip of it, because this is angled up. So there, right, so that's there. So every time I put that down, can you see it's just touching? Let's see if this one's touching. No. It's about, look, there, watch, hold on. Right, see here? Let me get it so it's in between both. Right, let me touch it. There. A bit more. Right, so you can see it deflecting when I just rest my finger on it. When I hit it. I've got bad aim. Now here. Hold on, go in. That's a bit awkward because I'm still on the outer ring, but look, I think that's more in. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's lift that out a little bit. Let's lift it out. Right, now let's see. Right, so there. It's catching just there. Catching just there. I think that might be it. Okay. I've convinced myself that that's the problem. So I'm going to put this back together. I'm going to keep the thermal paste on it because I think there's enough there. I only got a tiny bit on my finger. And I'm going to put these back on. See, because I worked on the Bosch one, I'm not saying I fixed this, I probably haven't, and I might not be able to fix it. But because I worked on the Bosch one, I feel like so much more confident working on them. So imagine if you did like 10 kettles, how good you would become at them. And that's the problem on my channel, I keep doing different stuff. So I never really get used to anything. Apart from just like general fault finding. I'm going to do them nice and tight like they were. So what do you think, yes or no? I think yes. Right, here goes. I won't put any water in, I just want to see if the light comes on. Here we go. So we're off at the moment. I'm going to put it on here. Hold it here. You ready? Yes. See that? Yes. I really enjoyed that. Okay, let me get some water, and I'll tell you, before I do that, I'm going to ask my wife what I can clean this with, because it's quite a nice stainless steel kettle. So there's going to be, she'll have some e-cloth or something like that, which will hopefully get rid of all these horrible marks. Oh, brilliant. I actually felt slightly like I knew what I was doing in that one. Apparently, a normal microfiber and white vinegar does the job, so let's give it a go. Whoa. Yes, it does. Oh, look at that. Amazing. White vinegar up there with IPA. Right, I am going to boil this up. Let's see if it turns itself off. There might be other problems with it, but I don't think there will be. Actually, I've just noticed that it doesn't look great around here. That doesn't look like it's been formed very nicely. So I'm just trying. I don't want to kink it, like crease it. I'm just trying to make that look like it flows more. It is nice though, that's not plastic, you know, that is stainless steel, so for £17, this seems okay. That's better. here we are, man of kettles. We're all loving the Bosch ones, so that was really happy that we fixed that one. Right now, on, we have a blue light. Am I going to hear any boiling sounds? I've got about 1 litre and 1.3 litres roughly. Can't hear anything yet. I thought I'd hear something by now. Oh, I just heard a little bit. Let's see if we've got any bubbles coming up. Yeah, we've got bubbles down there. I can hear now. Yeah, you can see the bubbles coming. Right, I think this will probably take quite a bit longer to boil than the Bosch one. But let's see once it's boiled if it turns itself off. I don't know why they've done this reflective thing on the top here. A bit strange. Unless it lights up. It wouldn't do though, would it? Because that's where it lights up. Yes, boy, it's starting to boil. Right, it definitely takes longer to boil than the Bosch. But it's going to be a lot cheaper than the Bosch. I can see steam starting to come up. Well, it's definitely less aggressive. I presume it's going to turn off any second now. It's definitely less aggressive than the Bosch one. Because when the Bosch one's about to turn off, you actually see it start to shake. Oh, it's starting to shake. Okay, I want it to be turning off now. Hey! Excellent. Well, there you go. Hopefully you can see the steam pouring out of it there. Yeah, hopefully. Not sure if you can or not. Ready? There we go. Fantastic. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed that one there because it's a sort of fault that anybody can fix. You just got to follow the path through. And then eventually I worked out that there was nothing happening between here and here because everything in the kettle looked correct. I loved that one there.
Conclusion.
So I'm going to call it a day there on this video. We got through 6 items, 5 of them are here. The other tyre inflator is in my wife's car. So out of the 6, 2 of them were already working, but 4 weren't. And I think they were interesting fixes. My favourite by far would have been the stapler or the kettle. Probably the stapler was the best one out of all of this. Can't believe my luck when it came to this one here because I'm sure finding that number combination was mostly luck. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. If you're wondering, can you make money on it? Roughly, I spent between £5 and £10 on each item. So if there's 6 items there, you're looking at between maybe £30 and £60. And the new price of all 6 items would be around about £184 if you were buying them from Amazon. The problem is, these are not new. So if you want the items for yourself, fantastic. Or if you're going to give them away to friends and family, great. If you're trying to resell them, you're not going to sell them for the new price. So you can see, even if you only sell them for half the amount, you're going to be left with like £90. And you've already spent between 30 and 60 on it, including your time. It's not going to work out. To be fair, these only did take me about an hour each. Editing wise, it's taken 3 days to get this video together, but time wise about an hour each. If you were doing it yourself, probably about half an hour because I'm trying to explain to the camera and make sure you can see what I can see, etc. So they didn't actually take very long to fix, but they were quite straightforward fixes. But that's what's nice about new items like this is anybody can fix these things as long as you take care and you don't electrocute yourself. A lot of the time it's just using your eyes and just following just simple fault finding. No specialist knowledge is needed to fix that or the kettle. It's just a case of following the path and trying to work your way through it. I thoroughly enjoy job lots like this. Really, really enjoy them. And you're going to be seeing more and more from these boxes in the coming weeks. So there we have it. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I will hopefully see you with the rest of these items very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching.
Rusty red on her shoulder, I was cleaning her shoe when it clicked on the trot over in the bright morning dew. We brushed and we braided dandelions and chewed. It was a mutual arrangement we both saw into. But can she walk in the fire? Can she run in the rain? Can she make it up the mountainside? Can she make it down again? I have often wondered if she'll go and jump the fence.